Hello everyone, this is Shubham Divakar over here, and I welcome you all to this series wherein we post the daily challenges solution to the lead code. So, moving ahead to the question that we have today, the question is H index 2. Before we discuss the algorithm over here, we first let us move on to the question, what it says. The question is given an array of citations sorted in ascending order, in which each citation is a non-negative integer of a researcher. Write a function to compute the researcher's h-index. So basically we need to compute this h-index, right? Now what exactly this h-index is and how we need to calculate it, we need to see. So a scientist has h-index h if h of his or her n papers have at least h citations each and the other n minus h papers, which means the remaining papers, have no more than h citations each. So what it basically says is that let's say you have a let's say there is a researcher who has 5 papers and the citations of these papers are 0, 1, 3, 5 and 6, correct? So what would be the h index of the researcher in this case? So as we can see, the solution is saying this means that the researcher has 5 papers in total and each of them received, okay, 0, 1, 3, 5 and 6, okay. So since the researcher has 3 papers with at least 3 citations, which means that there are 3 papers having 3 as the common number of citations between them, and and the remaining n minus h, or the remaining 5 minus 3, that is 2 papers, are having no more than 3 citations each. So remaining 2 have 0 and 1, so this is obviously less than 3, right? So the h index in this case would be 3. So basically before moving on to the solution, what I figure out from here is that uh, we need to find a number, like we need to find a point in this array wherein the number of citations, I mean the citations of, like, this is an array, so citation of a point, let's say it's h, so citation of a point h is equal to, over here in this case, n minus h. Now why n minus h, and that we would be discussing right now. So now there is also a note over here, see, which says that if there are several possible values for h, the maximum one is taken as the h index. So yes, there might be several other possible values, but one thing we have to take from here is that uh, okay, great, yeah, it's sorted in ascending order, right? So now from this point, I mean, since this is sorted in ascending order, so whichever number you pick up from here, right, let's say you pick up 1, so the remaining numbers, that the remaining n minus h number, n minus h papers that we have, will always have 1 as the common number, or will have at least one number of citations, right? So this is a interesting observation that we can make from here. So let's say I pick up 3 from here, the remaining papers that I have is 5 and 6, so they will always have at least 3 number of citations, because this array is itself is sorted order, so we need to take advantage of this situation. So what I can do from here is that I'll start searching, like I'll start searching, like if I talk about a naive solution, what I would do is I will go to 0 and then check in the remaining of the parts whether all of them are having the same solution, I mean all of them are having the same number of citations or not, which is very much obvious in this case. So we need to find a number here, the minimum number here, which is, I mean, common between them. So let's say I pick up 0 over here, so 0 is common in all these cases, but it can't be the index because the remaining n minus h index should not have more than 0. So we need to think more, right? So let's stick to the, I mean, move ahead to the algorithm. uh, Before we jump and say that this is a standard binary search, why I moved on to binary search is that, as you can see from the solution itself, like the solution is asking you to find a index h, okay, so this number 3 is present in the array, all right. So basically this is asking you, in this case this is present in the 3, but in other cases it might not be there, right? So the minimum number might not be there. So basically what it is asking you to do is you need to find, again you need to search in the array a particular index h. So when we are going with searching, the most efficient one we have is binary searching, okay. So we need to implement binary searching over here, and what are we going to find over here? We need to find the citation. Let's say we have an array of citation h, because we have the array as citation, so citations of h, where h is the index, should be equal to the length minus the h, or the citation of h, that is the h index that we have. So citation of h, if it is equal to length minus the h, then we can say that we are having that value. Whereas if the value is greater than that or less than that, then we need to figure out what are we going to do in that cases, right? So basically the solution is very simple. It's about binary search, and the point from where they should click to the users, click to the programmers who are solving this, is that the array is sorted is an ascending order, and as well as you need to find the index h inside this array. So searching is one thing that we are doing over here, so why not go for binary searching, because we need to compute this in as much less time, in as much less time as possible, right? And if you use binary search, we would be doing that in log of n time. Yeah, so the follow-up itself, it says could you solve it in logarithmic time complexity. So I guess I'm thinking in the correct direction. So this is the exact algorithm that we are going to implement, and this is the standard binary search algorithm that we work upon. So this is a standard binary search where we find the middle point m and compare it with the citations, okay, with n minus m. So if the citations of let's say it's m should be equal to n minus m, then we find the answer. If it is less than n minus m, then we have more papers having at least this number of citations. So we move on the lower part to middle part plus 1. This is what we do in the standard binary searching, right? Whenever we find a value, if it is whenever our value is less, whenever our so whenever the value is less than the value we are finding, we always move that L part to be since we are computing the middle point in M, so we will move L to M plus 1, correct? And if the current value is greater than our value, which means we do not need to check in the last part, whereas we need to check in the first part. So what we will do is we will move the left part, that is the higher part, to the M, or M minus 1 in our case. And in the end we have to return the value, which would be nothing but n minus l itself, where n is the size of the array itself. So I guess the problem and the algorithm is pretty much clear, and what we are going to do, I'll show you the implementation of this, and let's see how this goes. So first we need to store the length in L, where L is the length, and L is equal to citations dot length. Alright, so now we need low, which would be equal to 0. We will be calculating mid inside the while loop, and then we need high, which will be equal to L minus 1. Now while this low should always be, what should this low is equal to less than equal to high, yeah. So high is always L minus 1. So if you take high to be L, then you need to reduce that to less, low should be less than high, correct? So now we need to compute mid, which will be, in the mid is equal to 2, and this will be low plus high by 2. Now we need to check whether this middle part is where, if this middle part contains our value or not. If yes, then we would return this. So if citations, yeah, correct, if citations of this mid value is equal to, if length minus this mid, then we have our value, which would be nothing but L minus mid itself. Now we need to take care of the cases, of the two cases, if the current value is greater or smaller than the value which we are looking for. Now if the citations of mid, correct, is less than minus mid. Okay, so what are we going to do in that case? Which means if the citations is less than, if citation of the mid part is less than L minus mid, correct? So basically what we're doing here is we won't be looking in the upper part, right? Since we have three divisions in the array, two divisions in the array. The first is from low to mid, and the second is from mid to high. So now if the citations of this mid part is less than the current element we are looking, which means we need to move high, or we need to look in the second part. So we need to update high, right? So we have high, which will be equal to mid plus 1, and if the citation is greater than, then we cannot look in the upper part, we need to look in the lower part. Okay, we need not move the high part because high would always be there in the end. We want to move the lower index to the mid plus 1 part, because we need to look in the upper part. So now the upper part would be from mid plus 1 to high, and high always is having the last index, so we just need to move the low. And here in the else part, if it is less, now we need to move the high part, which would be equal to mid minus 1. I guess we are more or less there. And finally we need to return this, which is L minus low. Yeah, I think it's more or less clear. Yeah, just one thing we need to check, whether we need to return this low part or the high part. Yeah, so let's compile and run. Let's check whether this is giving me correct. I guess it should be high, because low is storing the mid plus 1 part, and it would always move it from there. L minus L. I think let's run and check this. Great, it finished. Okay, great. So we have this confirmation that it shows it's accepted. Great. So we have the solution over here. So basically this was a very simple problem of binary search, but all we need to do was to, the main part here was to check what we need to search, right? Because that is the only difficult part over here. Let's all, we can clearly see that we, since the array is in sorted order, so most of the thing is simplified over here. Now this is the followed up problem of the h index problem. Okay, so this h index problem is also a very interesting problem, wherein we are implementing bucket sort. So you can find the link to the problem of this h index 2 problem over in the description part. And the h index 1 we would be solving and posting the solution as well, wherein we would be talking about bucket sort, and that is also a very interesting algorithm to learn about. So yeah, thank you for watching, and please subscribe to our channel. Thank you.